Hey everybody, welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about why I chose the Canon EOS R over the 5D Mark IV. Let's go. You're a beautiful person and you're a good person, and if no one has told you that today, let me be the first one to tell you that. This year I invested in a new camera for myself, the Canon EOS R. I've made a lot of videos about it, using it for food photography and cocktail photography, portrait photography, and all the things that I love to do. I've been very happy with it this year, this purchase, but the question is, going into 2018, 2019, the obvious professional camera choice for Canon in that Canon line would be the 5D Mark IV, hands down. So the question is, why did I choose the EOS R? And honestly, I didn't even consider the 5D Mark IV. And I've talked about wanting to go with a mirrorless camera, but I thought I'd kind of put them side by side and talk about the reasons why, because I do use this in work, and I do use this for my personal freelance, and why I would still choose this, all things considered. So let's jump right into it. So the first thing I've talked about is size and weight being very minimal on the Canon EOS R. You can see the kind of the slim profile of the 35mm lens. I really love that. It's very, very, very light, and I find it easy to use with one hand. Now, part of that is when you are using it one hand, I'm using the touch and drag system to focus with my thumb, right? So I'm doing this, I'm moving the focus point all around, and that's easy to do because the camera is so light. Now, in comparison, I'm gonna put the 5D Mark IV right up, and you can kind of see the size comparison. Of course, I have this beast of a wide angle lens, the 16-35 here, but you can see right there the width. You can see kind of that angle. You can see the size of the camera body. And overall, the weight of this makes it, for me, a disadvantage. I've had a couple of events at work where I've used this for an hour and my wrist is just hurting at the end of that time. And I've never noticed the weight on this. Now, granted, I don't often shoot with a lens bigger than this because I like to use the native RF lenses, but the weight and the size of this make it, that's one of the downsides of the 5D Mark IV, for me. Now, one of the other advantages I've already talked about is the touch and drag autofocus point. This is a game changer all in itself. I simply compose the picture, and if I want to move the focus point, I just touch and drag on the screen. I have it set to start at the right-hand side of the screen, and I can then move over and brush with my thumb and starting at the right-hand side. And I just touch and drag, and that is a miracle. Like, that is amazing, amazing, amazing. Now, this has the same, you can touch to focus, but you can't touch and drag the autofocus point. So when I have this on, I have to use the joystick, which I'm completely unused to. I never use the joystick. I would always compose the picture and then hold the back button, focus, and recompose. And that's old-fashioned in my book after using this system. So that's another one of the reasons. So we have size, it's lighter, it's smaller, and we have the touch and drag autofocus system. But what else is there that really draws me to the Canon EOS R? One, it's mirrorless. Another one is the RF lenses, which are sharp and top notch in terms of the sharpness. You notice I wanted to put that camera down, it's a little heavy. And so the lens quality is awesome, it's sharp, it's light, and then you have the touch and drag. So those are the four major reasons that I prefer the Canon EOS R. It also comes with C-Log on it, so I've started to get more into filmmaking and documentaries, and this I had to pay $99 to get C-Log installed, and then I had to take it to the factory service center. Luckily I live within 10 miles of one, and I would leave my camera. They said for a week, but it was really done the next day, so good job, Canon. But 99 bucks and giving up my camera to have them install C-Log was not the greatest. This is the greatest, it comes on it. So I really, really enjoyed using C-Log, and I'm getting more and more comfortable with color grading that. And the other thing, oh, I can't even imagine, I forgot this. So with the Atomos Ninja 5, and Pablo, who's filming right now, is, we were discussing this earlier today. With the Atomos Ninja 5, you get 10-bit recording using that external recorder. So you have 10-bit C-Log, which is amazing for really cinematic quality, high dynamic range, and a lot of flexibility in color grading, making the color of the footage what you want it to be. Versus I installed C-Log on here. It does have the same 8-bit files, but no 10-bit. So that's 5 good reasons why I prefer the Canon EOS R. So it's interesting, somebody asked on the channel, is it good for real estate video? And I actually have my photography teacher, Nick Carver, who I'm lucky to live near to take classes in person from him. He does real estate photography, and so I'm going to talk to him about some tips in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. And so I've really been very, very happy with the EOS R in every situation imaginable. Now, all that said, there is no doubt the 5D is a beast. It's a high performer. It's an amazing camera. I've never been disappointed with the image quality. In fact, it's the same sensor, it's the same processor inside as the EOS R. But with the weight and the extra size and the extra cost of adding C-Log, and the EF lenses, which are, I think, going to be outmoded in 10 years. I mean, right now they're producing RF and EF, but I think maybe, you know, in 10, 20 years, the EF lenses are going to be outdated. Honestly, there's a couple other benefits that I just thought of. The extra control ring, you know, you can change your focus, but you can program this ring on the RF lenses, and you can make that aperture, ISO, white balance, whatever you want it to be. And so I have generally not use this, or I use it with, you have to hold the button and then change it for the ISO because I end up bumping it. But that's a great advantage, and I can see that I would probably use that in the future as I get more comfortable with it. One other thing I forgot is price. So this I just checked on the internets. It says it is $36.99 with the kit lens, the 24-105. This, I bought the body for about $2,000, and this was about $495. So this $2,500, this $36.99, not this lens. But $1,000 difference, I can't even justify it. This is a beast with the 10-bit and the touch and drag, autofocus, all of that makes this the top choice for sure, for sure. However, downsides, card slots. That's one of the things they talk about is single card slot, and then we have the dual card slot here. If that matters to you, maybe that's a deal breaker. I personally have never experienced the sadness of a corrupt SD card. So I shoot with just one, and I'm happy with it. So that's one downside. Any other downsides? You know that there is some perception that the 5D Mark IV is a professional camera. And I don't often hear that related to the EOS R. I mean, people are kind of tiptoeing around it. To me, I'm doing professional work with this. I'm getting paid with this, so it satisfies my every need. But I'm doing part-time freelance work, and I'm choosing whatever gigs I want. I don't know, if I had to rely on a camera full-time and put it through its paces day in and day out, maybe I'd feel different with the 2 card slots. But for right now, for me, this is a professional camera, or as professional as I need, and you know, I was honest about me doing part-time freelance, so take that with a grain of salt. But to me, to put $2,500 into this versus $3,600 into this is the better way to go. So that's it for me. Thanks for joining, and I would love to hear what is your ideal camera, and I really appreciate the help Pablo is filming, and check out his channel. I'm going to put a link here to check out Buenos Dias Imagery, and we're in this beautiful California Hotel Plaza in Fullerton, and we're going to get you some B-roll of that. I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. If you got anything out of this video, I am thankful that you are here, and I really want to contribute to the conversation. I really look forward to comments and people asking questions about this or anything else I talk about here on the channel. So I appreciate you, and just leave a comment. Thanks. Bye.